over on your street with some extra money we got this year.
On my street, there's
Yeah.
drainage problems?
Yeah.
I never noticed.
Okay, Virginia, do we have a quorum?
We have quorum and we are live.
Or did you have any regrets for this meeting?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I think I just canceled it.
Tracy sent her regrets. I talked to her this
Oh,
morning.
that's right, yes.
Nope, we are good on YouTube. I just got an email from Susan, so that just popped up. I just have to check that, but
Here comes Brent.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Brent.
okay, Susan, I think, is jumping in. She said she lost her link, so she'll be joining us in just a second. I'm just emailing it to her. Okay, I think we're all set to go, Dean.
Okay,
So just before we start, I can't really manipulate the order of the agenda items in eScribe, so I need to have the agenda amended to have the election of officers move to the top, and then I will go through that portion, and then we can take it from there.
I'll move it.
Okay?
yep,
So to open then for the election of officers, 4.1 is moving to the beginning. And I need, the motion reads, resolve that nominations be open for the position of chair of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee for 2022.
I'll move that.
Dean? And seconded by Robert. All in favor, if you could show your hands. If you don't, not on camera, open your mic, and carried. Okay, so do we have any nominations for the position of chair? Robert?
I'm gonna nominate Dean because I know I got his ear, so that's good.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for the position of chair? And any additional nominations? Seeing none, I need a mover and a seconder. Resolve that resolve that nominations be closed. Matthew and Robert, all in favor? Okay, carried. Dean, I'm hoping you accept.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right, perfect. So, and then a mover and a seconder resolve that Dean Greenwood was declared chairperson of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee for 2022. Robert and Mark, all in favor? Okay, carried. Thanks. All right, on to vice chair. A mover and a seconder resolve that nominations be open for the position of vice chairperson of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee for 2022. Jen? And Paul, thank you. And do we have any nominations for vice chair?
I would like to nominate Susan.
Are there any other nominations for the position of vice chair? Any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, mover and a seconder resolve that nominations be closed. Jen and Mark. All in favor? Oh, carried. And Susan, do you accept the position? Perfect. All right. And then resolve that Susan Milne was declared vice chairperson of the Parks and Recreation Committee for 2022. And do I have a mover?
I'll move that.
Dean and Mark? All in favor? All right, over to you, Dean. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Susan, congratulations.
Thank
If the ski hill was open on Tuesdays, you'd have to be the chairperson, but it's not open on Tuesdays, so all things being equal, hopefully we'll be at all meetings together. Anyway, moving back to our agenda, item number 1 is or I guess item number 4 now is our adoption of minutes. Everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from our last meeting. Any comments or corrections? Okay, may I ask for a mover for the adoption of the minutes? Jen, and a seconder, Matthew, thank you. All in favor? Item number 2, does anyone have a conflict of interest to declare? None noted. Item number 3, the adoption of the agenda. Everyone had a chance to look at that? Any other corrections or additions you'd like to say about? No? I would ask for a mover for the adoption of the agenda, please. Paul and Susan, second. All in favor? Now we're back to business arising. And I'd asked Virginia, because here we are February 1st and we're moving right along, if she could sort of fill the committee in on any park development updates that has occurred. Go ahead, Virginia.
Sure. So there's actually a few updates, and I'll let Brent speak to the Twin Pad update, but and in Marinelli Park, we're still working through some of the final items at that location. Our parks crew will be finishing up the playground area in the spring and then doing some grass and seeding in that area. The skate park, the RFP for the equipment for the skate park area closed on January 28th. So I'm just waiting for our purchasing department to have the summary of those RFPs to us so that we can review them and get the equipment ordered. And then the final piece, once those are done, is once the weather warms up enough, we'll be doing another mural project in the neighborhood. So we'll be painting the basketball court, as well as the connector pathway from the upper area where the playground is down to the new area where the skate park, basketball court, soccer field and berming is all happening. So that'll be wrapping up, and we'll be planning some kickoff event at that point, hopefully sometime in early summer, but we'll give more details once we have everything firmed up and all the equipment on site and we know when it's arriving. So we're excited about, that project. The other project is Rosedale Park. So I'll let Brent speak to that one as well. So I don't know if you want to touch on that and I can fill in.
Sure. Thanks, Virginia. I have 4 items actually to bring the committee up to date on. So since you left off with Rosedale Park, I'll just start there. So Rosedale Park, we have met with the working group. We have another meeting scheduled later this week with the Kiwanis Club of Lakeshore. So they have donated $80,000 to date to the project. So we're going through the exercise, Virginia and the team from Parks, with respect to providing amenities and related costing and forming an overall budget for review with the working group. So that's where we stand right now, and there's some exciting things that are being proposed. So we're looking forward to that. Virginia, I'm not sure if you want to add any more to that before I go on to the next item.
No, I don't think so. I think that kind of covers, we're still in the early stages right now. So hopefully we'll have more information at our next meeting.
Thanks, Virginia. And then on the next project, which is very exciting, and we'll continue from last night. So with respect to the Twin Pad, it was approved last night that we're going to have our very first electric ice resurfacer being sourced with Zamboni right now. So that'll take about 8 months to come to get built. And in time for the twin pad, there was some questions raised along any concern if it doesn't come forward. We do have one unit kit that can service 2 pads. It's not ideal, but we could if there is a delay. We hope there isn't. And on the twin pad project itself, everything is going fairly well. And I'll knock on the wood right now because there is challenges with respect to construction all around the world. But right now, the twin pad project's coming along nicely. We've had a few site visits there to make sure that things are going according to plan. They now have the structure being erected, which you'll see if you drive by there recently. They have a good portion of the structure up for rink 1, which is the larger of the 2 rinks. That's the one that seats approximately 700 to 750 people. And then the main corridor for the change rooms is up. And the new entryway infrastructure is in place as well, which is kind of north to the existing Northern Community Center. And we've also got into place, which you'll see in the users of the facility be quite happy with this, is some extra parking lot in front of the Northern Community Center. We've advanced that piece right now to some granular. So when the McMeekin has opened back up as of yesterday and the Northern Community Center, there's extra parking because it was really congested there. So we're happy to see that take place as well, because it's really a log jam there, for a lack of a better word, in front of the soccer facility. So that's taking place there. And one other project that people may or may not be aware of is that in this year's budget, we're able to get some money set aside to put the parking lot in place adjacent to Clerg Park. That's going to be happening this summer as well. So we're working together with Rotary to see how that interacts, and with a team from planning and engineering to have that paved. So that's right adjacent to the Civic Center and to tie in the hub trail. So that project's been on the radar for a number of years. And so that'll help clean up that area as well. And I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone has anything.
Thanks, Brent. I just want to say that extra parking down at the in the wintertime, I went to the skating trail at Clerg Park on Saturday, and it was wall-to-wall parking.
Okay.
I parked in the library parking lot almost out again to Bay Street or whatever, but it was very popular there on Saturday. So that's great that that's getting done.
Well, the initial plan there is to be between 90 and 100 spaces extra. So that would be some extra parking there. That would be easier because right now it's essentially a dirt parking lot and it's not as defined. When you have some defined spaces, it'll work better.
Right. Thank you. Any other questions of Virginia and Brent? Okay. Thank you. Our next item is our subcommittee.
Yeah, Dean?
Yes, go ahead, Robert.
One thing there, whatever happened to, remember the little boy, I think his name was Charlie, all about the tow rope on Finn Hill, and then we're looking at Garson Hill. What's happening with that, on that front?
There's been a few things brought forward on that, Robert, and one was with respect to lighting. So there has been some extra lighting that's been put in place at the bottom of Finn Hill right now. At budget, it was brought forward on the washroom facility. So that has been, didn't go forward in this year's budget. It was raised as an item through Public Works. So it's something that hopefully will get revisited at some point in the future. So, and then the tube park is something that would also have to be a future budget request going forward as another opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Brent. Our subcommittee task force updates. Item 5.1, stack. As a stack member, I have to confess again that stack has not met in 2 years as a group. The individual members talk to one another and things like that. I can let the committee know that the planning department is upgrading the master plan. It was called the cycling master plan, but it's more of an active transportation master plan. And basically, there are some improvements coming in that. And I might suggest that the cycling club and everyone's got a copy of the newest the cycling club newsletter. They are very proactive in forwarding in the cycling part of I guess Stack's role or whatever, and they're sort of our community leaders right now. Initially, we're a few of the Stack members are having a conversation this Friday to see if maybe this was our last lockdown and we can plan to possibly get together and start our program again. But other than that, we're happy with with things that are happening in terms of, Robert, you mentioned earlier about the number of trails we have around the Sioux. And a lot of people are buying in. I mean, we have the facility at Crimson Ridge now offering skating and snowshoeing and fat biking, as well as cross-country skiing. So it's been quite rewarding that stuff is happening in our community. But other than that, I just wanted to mention that when you read your Sioux Cycling Club newsletter, that there was a contest that the Cycling Club had. There was a number of new cycling trails created at Hiawatha in the Crystal Creek system for the winter fat bikers. And one of the contest was naming some of the trail lines. And one trail is trail number 5. It's a jump line from to Waterfall. And basically our own Paul McDonald won the naming contest for that route there. And he named it Happy Hour. And I think that's the trail you take just before you head home at 5 o'clock and have your happy hour. But anyway, Paul, congratulations on winning that contest.
Thanks, Dean.
I guess we don't have any other committee subcommittees other than new business. And
Dean,
I don't know whether Virginia, do you have any new business to report?
hey, Dean, I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
It's related to stock. Is the, the expansion of the trails by Farmer Lake, and with they got a substantial amount of work done. What's
Right.
the timeline? Do you think by the end of next summer, will it be complete, or is it?
Well, I think I would say by the 1st or middle of June, that trail will be open. It's about 90% complete. And when Boreal, the trail builders, are coming back, they're coming back to finish that. And then the other part of their crew will begin construction of the single track trail around Pin Hill area.
That's great.
And both of those will be ready by summertime type of thing. But it's been good. The cycling club has asked, the Farmer Lake Trail is available to snowshoe or walk on, but they've asked people not to go on it, just to let the weather see how durable it is. And then the trail builders will come and complete that in the spring.
Dean, how are they doing with the fundraising?
I think they're at 97,000 now, Robert. They've exceeded. They had a benchmark to build a trail, and the more they raise now, the more amenities the trail will have. Like, it'll have little rest areas for guys like Robert to sit down and have a rest if you're riding it, and different things like that. But no, they're hoping to raise $130,000, and they may well do that because money is still coming in with the fundraising program.
I guess I gotta pull out my checkbook and get a bench, eh?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. My wife actually reminded me today when we were walking, when am I going to do that? I said, it's on the horizon, it's coming.
Okay. Item number 6.1, Sports Hall of Fame for 2022. Again, folks, I'd just like to mention to the committee that I think we're all aware now of Margaret retiring, and I think Margaret was, she's been involved with the city and planning and recreation for as long as I've been involved with the city, doing great jobs and doing great things. And I just thought that her Sports Hall of Fame, or her virtual Sports Hall of Fame, Zoom Hall of Fame, was absolutely amazing this year. And I'm pleased that Mark and I were able to sort of not necessarily look like the heroes, but follow up on all of Margaret's good advertising and good work.
Can I just interject here, Dean, please?
Yes.
Okay, I sent out an email to Virginia yesterday, and I asked her, last meeting, my sound or my microphone wasn't working. So I put in the chat, please put on the agenda, Sioux Sports Hall of Fame facility, building, area, something, because it was before Christmas. There was a fundraiser for, I think, gymnastics. I was there picking up some pizza and wings, and I had about 45 minutes in that little lobby. So I walked around, and I had to use my phone's flashlight to see anything like that. I thought that was just that's not very good. Like, These people, we honor them and then we just kind of cast them aside. I don't think that's proper. We've got I know that area shouldn't be in that area because it's, there's a lot more pictures. I noticed nothing's updated since 2017. And so it should be, we got to really get serious about this and find a place, in that building maybe, or somewhere else that these people are honored. Why do we go through this whole thing and honoring them every year, Sioux Sports Person of the Year, and then we just don't do anything about it? And on the other hand, I understand too, there's more than, I guess they're trying to do a review of, there's too many of these awards. There's the Walk of Fame and there's the Hockey Hall of Fame. And then there's this, anyways, hopefully, maybe they can encompass them all into one place. And that's my feelings on that, because that was embarrassing. If it was anybody else, but I was going around, honest, I was going around with my flashlight on my phone because I couldn't even read the little things for some of the older guys that before my time. So that's my 2 bits there. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Robert.
Do you want me to speak to that, Dean? Or
Yes, I think that would be appropriate. Thank you, Brent.
And I can jump in as well, Brent.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
let you go, but this was part of the discussion tonight.
Okay, yeah, sure. No, for sure, Virginia, please feel free to add on. So, Robert, good points. Noted. This has been on Virginia's task list for a while, and she has looked at it. And there's a few different options that are being reviewed right now. One is in the existing site at the John Rhodes, in the existing space, how it can be reconfigured down the existing hallway on the lower level at the John Rhodes. And then we also are looking at space at the twin pad as well as a potential option as well. But we do have some things that are going in the twin pad itself already. So there's 3 different spaces within either the John Rhodes or the new twin pad that can be looked to address. And it is something that Virginia is looking at closely. And Virginia, please feel free to add anything else I may have missed.
Yeah, no, so we have, part of the issue we're having there, Robert, is I have asked that the lights get looked into because there were some issues with them. They are really far up and they don't cast properly because we do have so many plaques there now. And the plaques are disjointed because there's so many breaks in the wall, because we have doorways, windows. So you don't have that cohesive feel that we really want to have now that the plaques have, the number of plaques and recipients that we have outgrown the space that's available up there. So we have looked and measured the walls down in the main corridor. We're also looking to see if we have enough room within the new facility to redo and relay everything out, but also have room for future growth, because we need to make sure it's just not going to fit our needs now and in the next couple of years, but we're going to have room for the next 10 to 15 years to continue to grow as more recipients are added into the Sports Hall of Fame. So there's been a lot of measuring, and we're trying to figure out what that configuration is looking like. And we're waiting for some additional information back from the architects to determine the exact amount of wall space we have uninterrupted at the new facility. So that's definitely underway. And hopefully we'll have a new home for it, either downstairs or here at the NCC, which is where I'm sitting right now. But yeah, so that's definitely something that we're reviewing and will be hopefully addressed by year end.
Thank you very much. That's all I wanted to say.
I think you're on mute, Dean.
Oh, go ahead, Brent.
Thanks, Dean. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was just going to add before, because you're speaking to Margaret. So we, Virginia and I both agree wholeheartedly on her support over her 33 years here right now. So we're just on that note, we are finishing up the interview process for the supervisor of recreation job right now, and we hope to have an offer out shortly. So that'll provide some extra resource for the group here in recreation and culture and parks and rec, especially with Virginia. So we'll be able to hopefully assign tasks like these types of projects that Robert just mentioned right here to give some extra attention. So that's the update on that front.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Virginia. Robert.
One more thing about Margaret. I've been meaning to at least write an email to her congratulating her on retirement and that, but I'm sure, I know with most businesses, corporations, as soon as you leave the door, your email is cut off. So can you provide us with an email or personal email so we can write a thank you or something to that effect? Congratulations. Or should we just direct it to one of you two, Brent or Virginia, and you forward it on?
We can probably send a card from the committee. She's officially retired at the end of February. So technically she's on vacation right now. So we can absolutely get something sent out if you want to forward it this way, and then we can even mail a card if you wanted to send it. She did, just so the committee knows, she did want to just quietly move into her vacation, and then she kept telling us she wasn't officially retired till the end of February.
So is her email still valid or is it not?
It's the things are coming and being forwarded to other staff accordingly. So yeah, so I don't believe she's checking her work email anymore, but if there's any notes or whatever, or I can also ask her if she's willing to share her personal email, but we can touch base on that, Robert.
Thank you very much.
I also would be interested, Virginia. I felt really bad missing her as well. I've worked with her for a lot of projects for a long time. I've been around here for a while. I think I'm probably the longest ever PrAC member.
Sounds good, Susan. I'll make sure we connect.
Thank you.
Me too, Virginia, please.
Mark, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
If,
thank you, everyone.
If I could, in terms of 6.1 on the agenda, I know Chris Alfano isn't here, but he has been keen to be a member of this committee in past years. So I don't know if you're taking nominations per se, or if we're just volunteering people to be on the committee, but I'm going to put forward Chris's name, even in his absence.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's noted, Matthew. Thank you. Actually, we're there right now, and basically we're going to have a motion, Virginia, to do we need a motion to appoint advisory committee members?
Yes, so if there's members that are interested in sitting on the subcommittee to review, that'd be great, because March will want to start getting ready to get the application out and released so that we're reviewing them in April and we could start our planning in May. So that way we can hopefully have back to a normal presentation in June.
Okay, so we have one already. We have Chris Alfano. I hope he knows you're doing that, Matt.
I don't think he does, but based on his previous year's eagerness, I think he'll be okay with it.
I think that's great. Thank you.
I just read an email from Chris. I noticed it come up on my screen. He just said something about he had to be in Blind River and he didn't like missing meetings, but he will be here in March.
Okay. Any other volunteers for the committee?
I'm
for
interested.
Sports Hall of Fame? Mark?
I'm interested, yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Got me too.
Robert?
Dean, I don't know if I'm relegated or just assigned or not as city rep, but I'll participate again this year if you'd like.
Okay, it is a fun committee. Okay, Brent?
Okay, is that okay? So the motion would read: resolve that the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee appoint Chris Alfano, Marco Delainen, and Robert Caricato to participate on the Sports Hall of Fame selection subcommittee.
Okay,
I'll move
we have a mover for that, please.
Matt and Susan.
Susan, okay. All in favor? Thank you,
I
everyone.
apologize, I do have to duck out. Will you still have quorum without me, Virginia?
Yes, we will.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, everybody, I've got to go.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Bye.
Okay, item 6.2, participation grant or participation grant.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let the committee know, Jennifer had shared the opportunity, forwarded it on, and we're looking at making an application to the participation grant. The initial part of the grant, you can get up to, I think, $1,500 to help support promoting physical activity during the month of June. It could be an event. So the ultimate goal is to get people in the community out and active, tracking their minutes of exercise, And the most active community has the potential of winning $100,000. So yeah, so we're just working through all the parts of the grant. We had Drew was able to sit in on the webinar, and I have a download of it. I'm just partway through it right now, but we're hoping to make that application, which is coming up, I think, in the next couple weeks. So yeah, I just wanted to let the committee know. And I think part of the goal would be to also engage a lot of our partners, whether it's Zoo Cycling Club, different organizations, to get them involved and try to engage their targeted groups to be active during that month as well and track their minutes.
Okay, well, thank you. Item number 7 on our agenda, correspondence.
It was just the Sioux Cycling Club newsletter that was attached for everybody's information.
Okay. And we're on to item number 8, our next meeting, March 1st. Again, a video conference. Someday we'll get together. Again, I just want to mention, does anyone have any questions or any new business that they need to mention about? No? Well, I guess that's a wrap.
I just have to give my condolences to Brent Lamming. Our Packers are dead in the water.
Sorry about that. But are you cheering for the Cardinals now, Robert?
The Cardinals aren't there. That's okay. It's either the Bengals, because today is the first day.
I'm sorry. Yeah, the Bengals. I mean, yeah.
Today's the first day of that's the Lunar New Year for the Chinese, and it's the year of the tiger. So Bengals is pretty close.
Yeah, and I just want to mention to Mark and Susan and some of the older committee members. Imagine Mac Hedrick's daughter is the girl that won the ticket.
Yeah, I
Isn't
saw
that
that.
great? Yeah.
I didn't realize it was one of her daughters, and I recognize the name. Thank you.
Katie, yeah, Kate.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Dean. I should have connected it. That was, that's really nice to
Yeah.
know.
And I'm not sure whether they're planning to go or not, but anyway, it's very fitting that a football family would win that prize.
And my boys all played football. We
Oh,
bought
yeah.
dozens every year. One of
That's right.
these years. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to hear it was his daughter. That's
Yeah.
nice. Thanks, Dean.
So if you see Mac,
Yes.
give him a congratulations.
Yeah, you made my day.
Yeah.
Susan, I want you to know I play football every Saturday or Sunday. I'm yelling at the TV, and my wife is yelling back at me.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, our item number 9 is adjournment. I ask for a mover, please. Susan, and a seconder, Robert. All in favor? Thanks, everyone. Okay.
Thank
See you
you.
next
Night.
week. Bye.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Jen.
Bye.